You're not just living your life, you're running an empire, and your brain is the CEO. Every dream you hold, every decision you make, every reaction you have, begins in that incredible control center inside your head. The problem? Most people don't treat it like a CEO. They treat it like an overworked assistant, tired, distracted, reactive. But here's the truth. The quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your brain's leadership. And if you want to change your life, you need to take the reins and lead that CEO within. Imagine the greatest companies in the world: Apple, Tesla, Amazon. They rise or fall based on the decisions of their leaders. If the CEO lacks vision, clarity, or discipline, the company falters. The same is true with your life. Your brain is not just an organ, it's the headquarters. It manages your thoughts, regulates your emotions, analyzes risk, creates strategy, and executes your plans. And if you ignore it, abuse it, or leave it untrained, your life becomes chaotic. You drift, you react, you lose control. But here's the good news. Just like a CEO can evolve, learn, and sharpen their leadership, you can train your brain. You can rewire how it thinks, what it focuses on, and how it responds. You can make it work for your future instead of dragging around the past. The brain is not fixed. It's fluid. It's dynamic. And it listens closely to the instructions you give it daily, through your habits, your beliefs, your choices, and your environment. Most people are not broken. Their brains are simply undirected. They're full of potential but lacking clarity. And without clarity, the CEO wanders. It chases distractions. It builds anxiety. It settles for mediocrity. But when you take control and tell your brain, this is the vision, this is the goal, this is what we're building, it responds. It adapts. It focuses. Because your brain isn't the enemy. It's your most loyal partner. You just have to lead it like a visionary, not a victim. The problem with modern life is we outsource everything. Our calendars, our emotions, our worth. We let social media tell us how to think. We let failure decide how we feel. We let the noise outside drown out the wisdom inside. But the strongest people, those who rise beyond their pain, rebuild from failure and achieve greatness, they do one thing differently. They listen to their inner CEO. They cultivate a mind that is still under pressure, focused amidst chaos, and relentless in the face of doubt. So let me ask you, if your brain is your CEO, are you treating it like one? Are you feeding it with quality thoughts? Are you surrounding it with empowering voices? Are you giving it rest, strategy, purpose? Or are you just letting it wander, overthink, and self-destruct? This journey you're about to take isn't about motivational quotes or hype. It's a mental awakening, a call to arms for the mind. Because deep down, you already have the vision. You already have the power. You already have the fire. You just need to step into the boardroom, sit at the head of the table and say, let's run this life right. Because you are not lost. You are not weak. You are not behind. You're just one decision away from unleashing the most powerful force you've ever known. Your brain, your leader, your CEO. Welcome to the boardroom of your future. Enjoy the whole video and become unstoppable. Let's begin. Part 1. Command your thoughts before they command you. Every day, thousands of thoughts race through your mind. Some are whispers of hope, some echoes of fear, some inspire action, others trigger hesitation. And while you might not control every thought that appears, you are responsible for which ones you obey. Because if your brain is the CEO of your life, your thoughts are its board of directors. And if you don't control who's seated at that table, chaos will take over. Most people live like employees in their own minds. They take orders from emotions, follow impulses, and get pushed around by anxiety, doubt, and fear. But leadership doesn't work like that. A true CEO steps in and says, "This is the direction. This is the vision. This is how we move forward." You have that power right now. It starts with awareness. You need to become deeply aware of your internal dialogue, because your life will always follow the direction of your most dominant thoughts. Let's be honest, your thoughts can build empires, or they can destroy dreams. One positive belief can push you to take a chance. One negative voice can hold you back for years. But here's what most people forget. Thoughts are not facts. They are suggestions, ideas, opinions. And just because your brain offers you a thought doesn't mean you have to follow it. That is the beginning of true mental power. When you start evaluating your thoughts like a CEO in a high-stakes meeting. Would a great leader take advice from a voice that says, "You're not good enough"? Would they listen to a thought that whispers, "Why even try"? No. They would challenge it. They would ask for evidence. They would remind themselves of the vision, the mission, the goal. That's exactly what you need to do when your brain tries to sabotage you. Stand up. Speak back. Rewrite the narrative. Your brain thrives on direction. If you don't tell it what to focus on, it will focus on anything and everything, usually the problems. But when you give it a clear target, when you consistently feed it empowering thoughts, it starts to rewire itself. That's not philosophy. That's neuroscience. Your thoughts form neural pathways, and the more you walk a certain path, whether positive or negative, the stronger it becomes. This is why morning routines matter. This is why self-talk matters. Because every thought you allow, every affirmation you repeat, every mental rehearsal you do, it shapes your brain's leadership style. Do you want a reactive, anxious CEO in your mind, or a calm, strategic, decisive one? You are not powerless over your thoughts. You are the gatekeeper, the strategist, the commander. You get to choose what stays and what goes. And when you start thinking like a leader, when you start filtering your thoughts through purpose, clarity, and confidence, your entire life begins to shift. Command your thoughts, or they will command you. Lead your mind, or it will lead you somewhere you never meant to go. The first step to becoming the CEO of your life is mastering the meeting that happens in your head, every minute, every hour, every day. Part 2. Upgrade your mental software. Think of your brain like a powerful computer, capable, intelligent, and fast. But just like any machine, its performance depends on the software running it. And for many people, the software they're using is outdated, buggy, and full of limiting beliefs installed years ago by pain, failure, fear, or the opinions of others. If your brain is your CEO, then your belief system is its operating system. And if you don't upgrade it, you'll keep crashing at the same places in life. Let's face it, a lot of us are trying to chase new goals with old mindsets. We want success, but deep down we believe we're not good enough. We want to take bold action, but the voice in our head says, "Play it safe." We crave change, but the subconscious programming says, "Stay where it's comfortable." That's like trying to run the latest software on a computer from the 90s. It just won't work. The brain wants alignment. When your beliefs match your actions, your results shift. But when there's a mismatch, frustration builds. Self-sabotage sneaks in, and eventually you start believing that success just isn't meant for you. But here's the truth. You can upgrade your software. You can rewrite your story. You can remove the old corrupted code that tells you you're not smart enough, strong enough, or worthy enough. It begins with one word: awareness. Start paying attention to the mental scripts that run through your head when things get hard. What do you tell yourself when you fail? What do you hear when you succeed? That voice matters, because if the CEO is speaking from a place of fear or self-doubt, the whole system underperforms. You weren't born with limiting beliefs. They were programmed into you, from experiences, upbringing, media, or rejection. And what was programmed can be reprogrammed through repetition, through affirmation, through intentional exposure to new ideas. Every time you challenge an old belief and replace it with something empowering, you upgrade your system. You strengthen your brain's leadership capacity. Upgrading your mental software doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It means refusing to let old pain define new potential. It means understanding that you are not your past. You are the architect of your future. A great CEO doesn't let outdated reports determine tomorrow's direction. They analyze, adapt, and pivot. And that's exactly how you must treat your thoughts. When you feed your brain empowering content, books, podcasts, challenges, growth, it starts to run differently. It begins to prioritize focus over fear, possibility over panic, and solutions over setbacks. You stop operating from a survival mindset and start operating from a success mindset. Don't let your future be led by a mental program built in survival mode. Take control, clean the system, upgrade the beliefs, reinforce new patterns. Because when your mental software supports your vision, your brain becomes unstoppable. It doesn't just think like a CEO, it leads like one. Part 3. Discipline. The CEO's greatest ally. A visionary mind is nothing without discipline. You can have big dreams, bold plans, and incredible intelligence, but if your brain can't follow through, it's all just talk. Discipline is the backbone of effective leadership, and your brain, your inner CEO, relies on it to turn ideas into action. Without discipline, thoughts remain wishes. With it, they become reality. Most people wait to feel motivated. They think they need to feel like it before they act. But successful individuals know that discipline leads and emotion follows. They don't ask their brains for permission. They give it direction. That's the essence of mental leadership. A disciplined brain doesn't waste time negotiating with excuses. It shows up, it performs, and it delivers, especially when it's hard. Think of your brain as a high-level executive running a billion-dollar company. That executive doesn't get to skip meetings because they're tired. They don't quit projects because they feel overwhelmed. They develop systems, they create routines, they build momentum through consistency. And that's exactly what you must do with your mind. Discipline is not about being harsh. It's about being loyal to your goals, your growth, and your future self. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, your brain learns something powerful. It learns that comfort is not the priority. Progress is. It learns that commitment matters more than convenience, and it begins to trust itself. That trust is critical. Because when your brain trusts you, it stops fighting your goals. It stops hesitating. It starts working with you, not against you. Let's be real. Discipline is not always glamorous. It's early mornings, hard choices, and doing what you said you'd do long after the mood has passed. But it's also freedom. Because the more disciplined your mind becomes, the less controlled you are by emotion, impulse, and chaos. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop drifting and start directing. You go from passive passenger to powerful pilot. But how do you build this kind of discipline? It starts small. Daily wins, consistent effort, creating systems, not relying on willpower. You don't need to conquer everything at once. You need to prove to your brain day by day that you are the kind of person who follows through. And the more you follow through, the more your brain gets in line. It stops resisting the work and starts embracing it. Discipline is what turns your brain from a scattered thinker into a strategic leader. It's what separates those who wish from those who win. It's the silent force that shows up in your routines, your habits, your ability to say no to what doesn't serve your goals. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. So train your brain to show up, no matter how you feel. Make discipline your default. Because when your brain learns to lead through consistency, it stops chasing shortcuts and starts building empires. And that's when everything begins to change. Part 4. Eliminate the noise. Elevate the focus. A brilliant mind cannot lead if it's buried in noise. Every day, your brain is bombarded by notifications, distractions, headlines, opinions, and digital overload. It's like trying to run a Fortune 500 company while surrounded by screaming voices and flashing lights. In that chaos, even the sharpest CEO will lose focus. If you want your brain to lead with clarity, you must eliminate the noise that drowns out your inner command. Let's be honest, distraction is no longer a minor inconvenience, it's a mental virus. It steals your time, fragments your attention, and confuses your priorities. The average person checks their phone dozens of times per day, switching between apps, emails, and meaningless scrolls. But while their eyes move fast, their goals move nowhere. Because distraction doesn't just slow you down, it rewires your brain to crave interruption. You begin to struggle with depth, with presence, with silence, and the CEO of your life starts making decisions based on urgency, not importance. But real leaders know the value of deep work. They know that focus is a superpower in today's noisy world. And more than anything, they understand this. You cannot build a legacy in distraction. Your brain needs space to think. It needs quiet to solve problems. It needs boundaries to make quality decisions. That means sometimes you must step back, shut the door, silence the phone, and protect your mind like sacred ground. Focus isn't just about working harder. It's about creating an environment where your brain can breathe, where your priorities are clear, where the signal is louder than the static. Every time you eliminate a distraction, you're telling your brain, this matters. This is what we're building. And it responds. It sharpens. It organizes. It aligns. But eliminating noise doesn't just mean turning off devices. It means removing toxic inputs, negative people, limiting conversations, energy-draining habits. You must guard your mental space like a CEO guards the boardroom. Not everyone gets access. Not every idea deserves airtime. Because clarity isn't a gift, it's a discipline. It's something you create by being intentional with what you allow in. When your brain operates in a focused environment, its performance skyrockets. It solves problems faster. It learns deeper. It recovers quicker. It makes bold decisions. Why? Because it's not wasting energy fighting distractions. It's directing that energy into creation, into growth, into progress. If you want to lead your life with power, you must lead your mind with precision. That means prioritizing your attention. That means saying no to things that don't serve your purpose. That means designing your day like a strategy meeting, with structure, with intention, with vision. Noise is the enemy of greatness. Focus is its foundation. So cut the noise, clear the clutter. Design a mental space where your brain can operate like the CEO it was meant to be. Because when your mind is quiet, your vision gets louder. Part 5. Train it like a leader. A true leader doesn't rely on talent alone. They train, they practice, they prepare. Your brain is no different. If it's the CEO of your life, then it needs consistent training to lead effectively. You wouldn't hire someone to run a multi-million-dollar business and never invest in their development. So why do we expect our minds to lead without teaching them how? Here's the hard truth. Most people spend more time training their bodies than their brains. We go to the gym to look fit, but leave our minds unconditioned, weak under pressure, easily distracted, emotionally unstable. But success is 90% mental. Your body executes what your brain believes. Your actions follow your mindset. And if you want to rise, you must train your brain like a champion trains for victory, with focus, intensity, and intention. Training your mind isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared. It's building mental resilience so that when stress hits, you don't crumble. It's developing emotional control so that when conflict arises, you don't react, you respond. It's strengthening your focus so that you can lock in on your goals and tune out the noise. That kind of mental power isn't a gift. It's earned. Start simple. Feed your brain high-quality inputs. Read powerful books, study greatness, listen to voices that challenge you to grow. Expose your mind to discipline, wisdom, and higher standards every single day. When you wake up, don't just check your phone. Check your thoughts. What's the first thing your CEO is saying? Is it a strategy, gratitude, vision, or is it worry, regret, and anxiety? You can train that voice. You can reshape that inner dialogue. Mental training also means practicing discomfort. Great leaders do hard things not because they enjoy them, but because they grow from them. Wake up early, finish the task, have the difficult conversation, push your limits. Every time you choose the hard path, your brain records it. It says, "We're capable. We don't quit. We lead." Meditation, journaling, reflection. These are not luxury habits. They're leadership drills. They sharpen your awareness, your clarity, your inner calm. And just like training a muscle, the more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes. You stop getting pulled by distractions. You stop reacting to fear. You begin leading from a place of peace and strength. Remember, you are not just the follower of your thoughts. You are the trainer of them. You are the coach, the strategist, the CEO. You set the tone. And when you train your brain daily, it starts showing up for you. It begins solving problems with precision. It generates confidence under fire. It turns pressure into performance. So don't leave your mental strength to chance. Build it, sharpen it, discipline it. Because the world doesn't reward potential, it rewards preparation. And when your brain is trained like a leader, you don't just survive life, you master it. Part 6. Decision-making is a muscle. Use it wisely. Every day, you make choices. Some seem small. What to eat, what to wear, what to say. Others feel monumental. Who to trust, where to invest your time, when to take a risk. But here's the truth most people miss. Decision-making is a muscle. And like any muscle, if you don't train it, it becomes weak. If your brain is your CEO, decision-making is its sharpest tool, and the stronger it gets, the more powerful your life becomes. A weak decision-maker second-guesses, delays, avoids. A strong one acts with clarity, confidence, and responsibility. Most people think confidence comes before the decision, but it's the other way around. Confidence is built through decisions made and owned. Every time you hesitate, every time you hand over your power of choice to someone else, you weaken your inner CEO. But every time you decide, even imperfectly, you grow. Why is decision-making so difficult? Because we fear being wrong. We fear regret. We fear failure. But leaders don't chase perfect outcomes. They chase clear direction. A decision made with integrity, purpose, and courage will move you forward, even if the result isn't ideal. Indecision is what kills momentum. It traps you in analysis. It invites anxiety. And while you're stuck thinking, someone else is out there building. Your brain, as a CEO, thrives on momentum. It wants to move, to act, to build. But it can't if you don't give it orders. If you keep hesitating, overthinking, or looking for someone else to decide for you, you'll find yourself living by other people's standards. That's not leadership. That's surrender. Start building muscle. Begin with the small things. Decide what time you'll wake up and stick to it. Decide how you'll respond to stress. Decide what you stand for, what you'll tolerate, and what you won't. These micro-decisions reinforce identity. They shape your mindset. And as you get stronger, you'll find that big decisions don't scare you anymore. They excite you. They challenge you to rise. One powerful decision can transform your life. The decision to stop tolerating less. The decision to chase your dream. The decision to start over. The decision to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. That kind of courage is not random. It's trained. It's built over time through countless small decisions that tell your brain, I lead, I choose, I move. And let's not forget, no decision is still a decision. Waiting, hesitating, avoiding, that's choosing fear. That's letting your inner CEO sit in silence while your life unfolds without strategy. Don't let indecision steal your future. Lead it, shape it, choose it. Your brain is ready to execute, but it's waiting on you to step up. So build that muscle. Decide often, decide strongly, decide with heart. Because when your brain learns to choose with confidence, it stops asking, what if, and starts saying, what's next? Part 7. Protect the headquarters. Every powerful organization protects its headquarters. It secures its core, guards its secrets, and shields its leadership from unnecessary exposure. Why? Because the heart of the mission lies there. The same applies to you. Your brain, your CEO, is your headquarters. If you don't protect it, you risk losing clarity, peace, and purpose to chaos, negativity, and burnout. We live in a world where mental boundaries are constantly invaded. Social media demands your attention. The news feeds you fear. Toxic people drain your energy. And slowly, without noticing, your mental HQ becomes cluttered. You feel overwhelmed, scattered, foggy. But this isn't because you're broken. It's because you've let too much in. You've allowed noise, opinions, and stress to infiltrate your most valuable space. Your mind can't lead when it's constantly under attack. That's why you need to defend it, daily, not once, not occasionally, but as a daily discipline. Because everything starts in the mind. If you lose control there, you lose control everywhere. Your actions, emotions, decisions, and energy, they all flow from the health of your mental space. So how do you protect your headquarters? Asterisk first, set boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Some people carry chaos. Some conversations are poisonous. Some environments drain you the moment you step into them. You don't owe anyone your peace. You don't have to engage every argument or explain every boundary.
Protecting your mind isn't selfish, it's essential leadership. Second, prioritize rest. You cannot think clearly when your brain is exhausted. You cannot solve problems when you're running on fumes. Rest is not laziness, it's mental recovery. CEOs take breaks, not because they're weak, but because they understand longevity requires sustainability. Give your brain silence, sleep, nature, and stillness. It's in the quiet that clarity speaks loudest. Third, filter what you consume. Your brain responds to what you feed it. If you constantly fill it with negativity, gossip, fear, and outrage, it will reflect that in your emotions and decisions. But if you feed it growth, inspiration, challenge, and truth, it sharpens, it strengthens, it leads. Finally, don't neglect your emotional hygiene. Just as you shower your body, you must cleanse your mind. Release resentment, process pain, journal your thoughts, talk to someone. Unpack what weighs on you before it becomes mental clutter. A clear mind is a powerful mind, and a powerful mind leads with precision. The world will keep pulling at you. Distractions will knock. Doubts will whisper. But it is your job, your responsibility, to stand guard at the gate of your thoughts, to protect your headquarters like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your peace, your focus, your future, they're all on the line. You are the protector of your purpose. And when you learn to guard your brain like the sacred space it is, you elevate your leadership, your clarity, and your entire life. Part 8. The Power of Mental Rehearsal. Before any great performance, there's practice. Before the speech, the athlete's win, the breakthrough moment, there's rehearsal. And your brain? It's rehearsing every single day, whether you know it or not. The problem is, most people rehearse the wrong things. Failure, rejection, doubt, and worst-case scenarios. But what if you trained your brain to rehearse success instead? What if your mind practiced confidence, courage, and clarity until those traits became second nature? Mental rehearsal is one of the most powerful tools in your brain's arsenal. Olympic athletes use it. World-class performers rely on it. Leaders envision it. Because your brain doesn't always distinguish between imagination and reality. When you mentally visualize success in vivid detail, your brain begins to wire itself for that outcome. It prepares your body, sharpens your focus, and builds internal certainty. But the opposite is also true. If you're constantly picturing yourself failing, falling short, or being judged, your brain treats that as a preview of what's to come. It tightens up, it hesitates, it holds back. That's why what you rehearse matters. Because whatever picture you play on the screen of your mind, your brain will begin to follow that script. Subtly, silently, but powerfully. You have a choice. Rehearse defeat or rehearse victory. Most people live on mental autopilot. They allow their brains to replay their mistakes, their fears, their insecurities on loop. But leaders take control of that inner cinema. They sit in the director's chair. They say, "This is the story we're telling now." They begin to visualize their highest self, the confident speaker, the calm negotiator, the disciplined achiever, and day by day, their brain begins to adopt that role. Mental rehearsal is not daydreaming, it's training. When done with purpose and repetition, it creates a mental blueprint for success. It gives your brain a model to follow, so that when the real moment arrives, it feels familiar. You've already been there, mentally. You've already overcome the fear. You've already handled the pressure. That rehearsal becomes your mental armor. Start small. Before the interview, rehearse composure. Before the presentation, rehearse clarity. Before the challenge, rehearse strength. See yourself showing up fully, powerfully, and intentionally. Hear the voice of your inner CEO, not nervous, not unsure, but certain, focused, ready. And soon, your reality will start to reflect that mindset. Your brain is always watching. It listens to your inner images. So why not use that power to create your future instead of fearing it? Rehearse with vision. Rehearse with purpose. Rehearse like a leader. Because when your brain has seen success in its mind, it becomes unstoppable in real life. Part 9. Lead with vision, live with purpose. Every great CEO knows that a company without vision is a ship without a compass. It drifts aimlessly, vulnerable to storms, lacking direction. Your brain, as the CEO of your life, needs that same guiding vision. Vision is the fuel that drives your decisions, the beacon that keeps your focus sharp, and the reason you keep going when the road gets tough. But vision isn't just about setting a goal or making a plan. It's deeper than that. Vision is a clear picture of who you want to become and the legacy you want to leave behind. It's your brain's North Star, helping you navigate distractions, doubts, and detours. Without it, your CEO gets confused, distracted, and overwhelmed. With it, your mind aligns every thought, emotion, and action toward what truly matters. Living with purpose means waking up every day knowing your why. It means your brain isn't just reacting to external events, but proactively creating your future. It means your inner CEO has a mission that energizes you, a mission that is bigger than fear, bigger than failure, and bigger than temporary setbacks. Purpose ignites passion and resilience. It transforms obstacles into opportunities and fuels perseverance when motivation fades. But vision and purpose aren't static. They grow as you grow. They evolve as you gain clarity. That's why your brain must remain flexible and open, constantly updating its goals based on new experiences and insights. A powerful CEO doesn't cling to outdated plans out of fear. They adapt, pivot, and innovate, always keeping the mission alive, but changing the route if needed. If you want to lead your life with power, you must start with a vision that inspires you. Write it down, speak it aloud, feel it in your bones. Make it so real that your brain can't ignore it, because your brain acts on what feels urgent and important. When your vision is crystal clear, your CEO rallies all resources, your thoughts, your habits, your energy, toward making it real. Remember, a vision without action is just a dream. That's why your brain needs both clarity and execution. Your CEO must balance thinking with doing, planning with moving. When you lead with vision and live with purpose, you don't just survive the journey, you own it. You become the leader who builds a legacy, shapes destiny, and inspires others. So today, decide to lead your brain like the CEO it is. Give it a vision that excites you. Give it a purpose that grounds you. And watch as your mind transforms from a passive observer into an unstoppable force driving your life forward. Because your brain is more than just an organ. It's your leader, your strategist, your CEO, and it's ready to take charge. Take the CEO seat. Own your life. You've heard the truth. Your brain is not just an organ in your body. It is the CEO of your life. It's the command center where every choice, every feeling, every action begins. But the power to lead this incredible force has always been in your hands. The question is, are you ready to take the seat, to step into the boardroom of your own mind and lead with purpose, discipline, and vision? Leadership isn't reserved for the elite few. It's not a gift given at birth or a secret reserved for CEOs in skyscrapers. It's a daily decision, a commitment to take responsibility for your thoughts, your habits, and your energy,
It means saying no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. It means training your mind to become a focused, disciplined, and decisive leader, one who commands respect and drives results. Too often, people live passively, allowing their minds to run wild, chasing every fear, feeding every doubt, and surrendering their future to confusion. But this path leads only to frustration, regret, and missed potential. You were made for more. Your brain, your CEO, was designed to create, to strategize, and to conquer. But it needs your leadership. It needs your clear vision, your unwavering discipline, your fierce protection of its space. Imagine the life you want to build, the goals you want to crush, the legacy you want to leave behind. None of that happens by accident. It happens when you take control of your inner CEO and lead your mind like the most important business in the world, because it is. Your life is your greatest enterprise, and your brain is its most valuable asset. Leading your brain means mastering your thoughts before they master you. It means upgrading your mental software by replacing limiting beliefs with empowering truths. It means developing unshakable discipline, sharpening your focus, and making decisions with confidence. It means protecting your mental space fiercely and rehearsing your success until it becomes your reality. Most importantly, it means leading with a vision so clear and a purpose so powerful that nothing can deter you. This journey won't always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, days when motivation fades, times when distractions roar louder than your intentions. But remember this: leadership is forged in challenge. Every obstacle is an opportunity for your CEO mind to prove its strength. Every setback is a call to refine your strategy. Every difficult decision is a chance to build the muscle of courage. You have the blueprint. You have the power. Now it's time to act. Step into the role you were born to play. Sit in the CEO's chair with confidence and clarity. Set the direction. Make the calls. Command your thoughts, your habits, and your energy toward the future you deserve. Because when you lead your brain, you lead your life. And when you lead your life, you unlock the limitless potential within you, the potential to rise, to build, to inspire, and to win. Your brain is your CEO. It's time to run your empire.